first foggy day of fall that I can remember this year. It was kind of fun. Looking forward to it. Got Dr. Rocky Valentine with us today, sliding in here at the last second. Glad to have him. Glad he made it. Glad it's good. We'll get to talking to him right after this.
Better take a deep breath.
Good morning, Beth.
Hey, Beth. Thanks for kicking off the show for us, Beth. We didn't have anything else to talk about, but now we can talk about Beth, so it's all good.
Oh, my goodness.
Glad you're here. Glad you're here,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Rocky.
Yeah, thanks
Sorry,
for coming
I was
on.
Screaming in Cosmo Kramer style.
Coming in hot.
It was awesome.
Coming in hot. That's what my mom likes to say.
I kind of did your intro in the bump, but I just sort of assumed everybody knew who you were, but maybe they don't know who you are. But.
Would you like for less people to know who you are?
If you've seen me,
He's wearing a name tag.
If you've seen, I do. Here, I do incognito. Okay, I like.
You do slip in.
Throw a hat on.
I was like, what? I don't know.
Is it not working anymore?
No.
Is it just in my head?
You're too tall to be incognito.
That's
true.
You can't do that.
I try on occasion.
It's like I totally pictured one of the glasses and mustache and nose masks. Is that Dr. Rocky
Archer Brown.
Valentine?
Yeah.
You guys had a busy Friday this last.
It was a busy Friday. I
Tell
got
the world about that.
I got all my steps in on Friday. Yeah, we had homecoming stuff going on, and so we had, sometimes it's trial and error when you introduce like new things, and so one of those new things was a parade at the 7-12 level, which was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
And then that happening during the school day. One of the things I don't know whose idea it was, but doing the little mini pep assemblies in each building,
Which is wonderful.
which was amazing.
Yeah.
Like my heart was so full on Friday. Like it was just awesome. We had a great day. Our high school student council kiddos, under the direction of Sophie Condro, put together almost all of it. I mean, they were the masterminds behind it. They led the they led the little pep assemblies. Those high school kids did amazing. Our little kids did amazing. They got into it. They figured it out. After a little bit, it took a little time.
There's nothing like a good pepper out.
I just appreciate our elementary principals and teachers and staff there just letting that happen. And so it was a lot of fun. My favorite moment of the day, and you all know Dr. J. Katzen.
Yeah.
So she can be emotional at times in moments of like joy.
Oh.
And so we get to the first building we went to, the elementary, and it's just rocking and rolling. The pep band's playing. We had like 30 kids from the band, and the flags and the cheer and the palms, and then we had football kids, and we tried to represent all the programs happening right now. And so we had student council, we had FFA, we had tennis, we had all the things in the fall.
Everybody but soccer.
Yeah, because you guys were gone.
playing.
You guys
Yeah,
were
we were
playing
playing the game, yeah.
literally at that same time. And
Stephen Dockham says he blends in a polo shirt like crazy.
good. So I see Jennifer, and she's just a wreck, and it was like, it's a good event
Passion.
When somebody cries.
somebody's tearing up.
Cry.
And
Enjoy.
So, loved seeing that. It was just a lot of fun, and getting to see kids all throughout the day, and then see them later at the game and just say, hey, did you have fun today? Was that fun? And just introducing, the hoopla of homecoming, but also just all the activities that kids can get engaged in, and having kids lead that. So it was so fun. And then, of course, the fun part about homecoming is, by the way, there's a game to be played too later that
there's
night.
A game.
And so that went really well as well.
I would say festivities.
For the game, for the actual event.
No, I would say it carried into the game. I thought the atmosphere was electric.
Right. It
Friday
Yeah, it was
night.
good.
I was out there, serving coffee, and I stepped out because I wanted to watch the marching band at halftime.
Yeah.
And the Pom Cats, because Maddox used to dance on the team, so I went out and watched them. And I remember in times past where the first half's over, people go to the bathroom or whatever, but nobody left. Everybody stayed and watched the band, and there was as much energy about the band performing as there was the guys out on the football field playing football.
Yep.
And to me, that was just like, wow, this atmosphere is really changed.
It had good vibes.
I think the build up has something to do with that.
It was a good day, and it was just fun. We've had a great fall, but it was a fun day.
Yeah,
it was good.
It was cool. It was very cool. It was neat. Yeah. It's interesting as you're walking up to the stadium, you can't really hear because the way it's built, you can't really hear the crowd, but you can hear the announcer. Yeah. And then you walk in, you're like, whoa, there's a whole lot of people here. Yeah. It was cool. It was fun.
Fun day, and soccer had a great weekend too.
Great weekend,
and then volleyball had a great weekend, and so it was a fun weekend, and the weather was. You always hope and pray for really good weather for homecoming, and we've all been to that like rainy or cold day, and so for homecoming events, and so it was a good day.
The band is amazing. The band
they had a great weekend too.
Yeah, it was the band did a great
second
job
at a big competition.
Yeah. There's so much to watch in that production.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, it's good.
Big stuff happening.
Yeah, big stuff. Okay, I'm curious, like numbers-wise on the school district, did they increase? Or are they about the same as last year?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. So we there's a couple like moments, like time stamps that we check attendance.
Yeah.
We check attendance and enrollment every day. However, but there's like some benchmarks that we look at. So typically that first day of school, we have, we keep that metric each year.
Yep.
So day 1 of August 25 compared to day 1 of August 24, we were up around 20 kids, K-12. So not significant.
Yeah.
And then another one just actually happened in the last couple of weeks. So at the state level, they do what's called September membership count. And so that September membership count is any student who is in attendance over a 10-day period through the 5 days before the last Wednesday in September and the 5 days after. So that's another one that we benchmark. And we have that data back to like 95.
Oh,
it's
wow.
really awesome to go back and look at that.
Way back then, huh?
Yeah.
What a ancient time.
So,
graduating college at that point.
Got married that year.
Wow.
so we look at that. But overall, we did a demographic study last year. We've done that every 3 years for back to I think 2015 or 2018. And so our demographic study has actually been really accurate, which is good.
That's good.
Pay a decent chunk of money to get that data.
Yeah.
So you're going to like it to be accurate. But one of the unique things is our kindergarten classes have been much smaller over the last 3 years. And so I have a second grader. So 3 years ago, he was in kindergarten, and they were around 162, 165 kids. And they are still around 160 kids, which is really unique because the 3 or 4 grade levels above that all started with like 175.
Yeah, there's some bigger ones.
To like 185 to I think a couple touched like 188. And so we've seen some smaller numbers. And that's even with some of the construction that we've experienced. It's really, it's
interesting. I think a lot of people are doing kindergarten different than they did. Yeah. And then I think a lot of those kids are maybe ending up in school.
Yeah.
They're maybe homeschooling or they're just kind of doing. It's kind of interesting. I think COVID really affected people's take on their kids entering kindergarten. It's kind of interesting.
We had an S&P call yesterday for credit ratings and things like that for a bond refinance, and that's one of the questions they ask is what does our enrollment look like with regards to homeschool, private, parochial options.
Yeah.
And I explained that to the person I was doing that rating call with. We obviously, proximity-wise, have tons of options close to Springfield, and we've talked about this before. Chris and I have tons of options locally. that there are in a lot of private kindergarten options, and so sometimes we see that they've went to preschool at one of the private Christian faith-based places, and then they come back in kindergarten, or they come back in first grade.
Yep.
But we see that as a trend throughout our district. Is we have a lot of families that do elementary or maybe through 6th or 7th grade, and then they start as 9th graders. And my belief on that is we have a lot of really great programs that kids can get engaged in that sometimes you don't see at a smaller school setting where there is a band of 125 kids, or there is a soccer program, or trap and skeet, or all sorts of different things that we have just being our size. And so we've kind of ridden that wave on the enrollment piece. And it's kind of nice to not see 100 kid growth. That
can be overwhelming.
It can be very overwhelming.
I mean, there was a specific grade, and I'm trying to remember which one it is, that, really, they came in, it was like 3 or 4 years ago.
I believe in the fall of 22,
yes,
we added a 5th grade and a 2nd grade in August.
It was crazy.
25 kids showed up in both of those grade levels.
And everybody's like, well, who are y'all?
And so we've not experienced that.
Where'd y'all come from?
Which is a good thing. That kind of it's a lot easier to plan
for. To pivot.
It's hard. It's harder to pivot when it's unexpected, but and that's why those demographic studies are, though they're fairly expensive, they're really good for us to kind of see. And the projection is like 1% to 2% over the next few years, which adds up to 5 or 6%. Yeah. But we feel really good about some of the most recent building projects that we've had at the primary and the elementary that we can handle, some more growth.
Yeah.
The upper and the middle school are kind of the next places that we'd like to look at, maybe some expansion to give some just flexibility when that continues to grow. Yeah. So it's been good.
That's got to be difficult to adjust your metrics. So if you're looking at and trying to make projections, and then you've got new variables that are hard to predict, like kindergarten at a Christian, option, or whatever. It's just how do you adjust those metrics to come up with a realistic number?
It's really hard because our smallest class and our low average in kindergarten, first and second, is around 162 kids. Mm-hmm. But our high average is, I think, 10th, 9th, and 8th. Or maybe it's 9, 10, or maybe it's 9, 10, 11, but they're around 202 to 205.
Oh, really? So there's a pretty big difference.
Pretty good variance, which is pretty common in a district our size. Okay. When I was at Marshfield, we'd see about a 30 to 35 kid variance between the biggest and the smallest.
That's interesting.
But is that also because maybe they did homeschooling or Christian education, and then at high school, maybe a parent said, okay, I've taken you as far as I can take you. I want you,
programming
for programs, 2, socially or whatever. Right. The public high school maybe is a better fit from this point forward. Do you see a lot of that?
We do, but the flip side of that also is, choice of a 16, 17, 18-year-old makes it a little bit more challenging to predict what those numbers are going to be. But we also start introducing a lot of great options when you get to the 9-12 level because, as juniors, we collaborate with OTC and the career college there. And so there's like 35 different programs there. I think we have 42 or 44 kids right now going every day. Every morning they leave our high school and they go to OTC for 2 to 3 hours, and they're working in auto body, diesel mechanics, media, nursing programs. Yeah. So we have a ton of those really, really great hands-on opportunities that they're working up there to get. Really, a couple of those programs you can be licensed or certified at the end of.
With my daughter's one. She's working at CMH Hospital in Bolivar as a freshman in college, because she got her CNA through that program.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
And so we see some that makes the 9-12 building feel a little bit different because that's 45 kids that leave every morning. They come back in the afternoon. So, we like to celebrate those programs because they just we also do GoCap. So we have a handful of kids that are going and doing GoCap stuff, which kind of a partnership with the Chamber of Commerce. With it's a little more business focused, but it's I think we have 3 or 4 kids doing that this year. Mm-hmm. We have a few at the middle college at OTC. Of course, we obviously have a ton of partnerships where kids are going and the whole world of kids getting dual credit options at the 9-12 level.
Yeah.
It is amazing how many kids leave as a senior in high school, and they walk into college campus as a sophomore
Yeah,
because
that's
they've already taken so many dual credit options, and so our 912 people do a great job of letting those kids find what they're going to be, focusing on and getting a head start on it. Really, it's really great to see.
I started college classes, I can't remember, and I actually went to Drury while I was going to school in Houston. And I one decision I made, I absolutely worked out for me in the best possible way. I mean, I was able to graduate with a 4-year degree in 3 years once I came up here, and I didn't have all this debt. And I mean, it was a huge step to like catapult my life into adulthood.
The price point on the dual credit classes at the high school level is, it is a significant discount. So.
That was a fairly new thing. Of course, I graduated high school in '94. Did they even have dual credit stuff? So my senior year, I took ancient history, and it was a 0-hour class, so I had to come before everybody, before first hour began. And so, but man, that was the only college credit I had. But that's an amazing thing. I wish I could have walked in with 12 or 15 credit hours, or even 30, like some of the kids.
I had 3 credit hours at my high school experience, and we have a lot of kids that'll have 12, 15, 18. It's really wild how many have a lot of hours.
Yeah, that's a really nice option to have. We just did not have such a thing. But then again, I think my law school cost me like $5,000 a semester
compared to
oh my god.
I don't want to know the
I don't know
dollars
what
cost.
Oh, I know, right?
I don't even want to know.
I looked at. I remember because I actually had. I could have went to Yale Law School. I had the scores and grades for it. So I looked at it, and it was like $19,000 a semester to go to Yale Law, and we're like, well, that's too expensive. We're not doing that. And now, that's what you'd pay to go to Drury for undergrad.
Right.
Yes.
And now you shouldn't go to Yale.
No, yeah, I'm glad I didn't. No reason to do such a thing.
Good morning, Diana. How are you today?
Speaking of, there's a parent who
There's a parent.
whose child was once in a private Christian
And
school,
came back and has been in Raj.
now is at Raj, And we're praying for Cole on Thursday as he has his meniscus surgery.
Hopefully that goes good. That's all. It's so tough when they get injured. That's a bummer.
It is.
We've
We've had 2 season-ending knee injuries this year in the soccer team, and it's
that's so frustrating.
devastating. Not just for the team. I just hate it for these kids, especially when they're seniors. And,
Yeah,
Anyway.
that's tough. The cell phone ban. How's that gone? I mean, there was a lot of hubbub, and then I've not heard a darn thing about it.
It's went really well. Kids have done a good job with it. I think, there's been some districts around us, some high schools specifically, that had leaned into that over the last handful of years. And so we had a lot of discussion the last few years about, do we do this? Do we jump into that? And then it moved really quickly in legislation, which is not the norm. Like, normally something's not introduced. It's usually, we'll know it's like, it's a 2 to 3, 4-year cycle to get something passed. But that one passed pretty quickly. But honestly, I would say at the 8 and below, so middle school and down, really not been an issue at all. And really at the high school level, I don't think it has either. Kids have done a really good job with it. We're not ignorant to the fact that kids are, capable of still manipulating systems.
Oh yeah, they figure it out.
Sneak into the restroom or different things like that or whatever. But we've tried to draw a pretty hard line on that, and I know there's probably some parents that have had to drive up to the school and pick up a phone or go and do. And so but it's been good. I think our teachers have been appreciative of it. I know it's nice to see just the camaraderie is not the right word, but just the dialogue that happens as a result of kids not having a device.
Did it pass through, when you talk about the legal side of it, did it pass through just because this is so obvious?
It had to have. I mean, for everybody to be on the same page, to get something done that quick.
There's I don't know. I obviously have a cell phone. I don't love it.
I forgot mine was there.
I don't love it as much as some do. But like I'll use, I think there's some federal legislation that's been kicked around about making social media not accessible until 16 or 18 or different things like that, which I would be all for.
Legislate it all you want. I don't know how you.
Right. Yeah, it would have to be
Yeah.
at the level of the corporations that run it, allowing that or not
Like
allowing
truly,
that.
like not allowed.
Right.
Yeah.
Even Facebook, you couldn't get an account till you were 13, but I mean, all the kids were getting on there saying, "Oh, my."
I know.
About their
Right.
birthday.
Oh
Right.
yeah, yeah.
So-
8-year-old kids with Facebook accounts.
But yeah, it moved through pretty quickly, and honestly, it hasn't been that. I thought the law itself might create some distractions just based on hubbub and people being frustrated, but it's really been the opposite.
That's
I
good.
haven't read the statute, so I don't know exactly how it all applies. But just out of curiosity, I mean, what about like smartwatches? Because I mean, I
It's
could
any
call
device.
not to have a smartwatch that's
Yeah.
connected.
can't have a smartwatch.
Right.
What's the language? I can remember.
So the way that we would, from a school perspective, if we saw a young Will Worsham over here,
Well,
doing a bunch of stuff
Even
on
in the
his
80s,
phone.
you would have seen that.
Yeah.
But it was
Yeah.
his calculator.
Yes.
And it was
Yeah.
it was a
It was a
transformer.
Casio.
it was the Casio.
It had actual gray buttons on it that you could push.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't
So
text, but you
we tried to. That's how we would handle that, and like the AirPods and all the different things. So, but yeah, it's not really been. It's not been a distraction. It's been good. It's served its purpose of removing some distractions. So that's been a good thing.
I mean, I can't imagine growing up in an era with a smartphone. Like, I was the kid in class that was reading all this stuff over there on the wall when I was supposed to be listening. So if I had a device in my presence, I don't know, I wouldn't have learned
We
anything.
had this conversation at the office yesterday. Like, if you told our kids' selves, you will have an electric car, it can drive you. You will have a device that allows you to have these crystal clear images in your hand all day long.
Right.
You can be on a video. We would have been like, that's science fiction. Like, that doesn't exist. It does exist. Like, it's here, and it's a different world.
Well, you just think about it. You just think about your media. You look at your Star Trek from even the 90s and the technology, the future technology they had, it's obsolete. We got better stuff
That's a great point. You're right.
than they imagined, except for their holodeck and their replicator.
Figure that out.
Our stuff's better than anything they've
Beamed
got.
up to the beach.
I would not. I don't see
You
any
don't
way
wanna
that
be beamed?
I don't see any way that beaming technology works without killing you. I mean,
Feels
inherently,
like I've thought about this.
it's gonna kill you and recreate a clone. That's all it can do. I mean, it's a matter to energy transmitter.
I just like that I've like seen inside Will's brain. He's like, I've deeply thought about this.
I have.
It just doesn't
Going way
work.
over my head here.
It's
Peter, which
it doesn't-
mic's not
it doesn't
working?
work. They can make
Lawrence,
no.
okay.
Oh no!
Here, we'll
lose
share.
Lauren's microphone.
Check my connection. Am I back?
Yeah, it's maybe a short in the
Am I
cord.
back? Hello? Yes.
We don't have a show without Lauren.
It's better than. Oh, Beth's like Lauren's mic isn't
Go
working,
back
but I think
and
it's
say
back.
everything you said in the last 10 minutes. Thanks, Beth. We just got it sorted. I saw
That's
this look,
funny.
and I'm looking around, trying to help Peter out, looking for connections.
That's what's
and-
that's so it's like you can look and just us, we're on a little delay just from that TV, right?
There you go. Ryan's
the-
like, you're better
But
now.
then by the time it goes out through the internet, through social media and all that, there's people are, and then they comment back and we get it. It's about almost a minute delay.
It's a solid minute delay or
Yeah.
so.
Well, we're in compliance with government regulations.
Yeah,
In
right.
case something, there's
Yeah.
a wardrobe malfunction. We
The only problem is we can't stop it.
We've done the show a long time, and there's yet to be a wardrobe malfunction. I knock on wood, but that would make for good TV.
I had that moment. It was I was creating a Facebook page, and I was trying to. It's not ready to go live, and what I'm doing needs to be under wraps for a bit. And I thought I was doing it incognito, and I found out the page I created was live, and I was freaking out. Shayna's driving me home from Kansas
Beth's
City
on
so I
sound
can
duty.
do work on my computer, and I'm like freaking out. She's, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" I'm like, "Ah."
People are taking
I'm live.
screenshots.
It was a big deal to me. It was it was no big deal. Yeah, you know how that stuff works.
Yeah.
Oh, it is stressful that moment. Yeah.
It's like no. We can't get this out of order.
Anytime I've ever done a live video, I'm always like, it's done right. It's actually done right.
my phone
yeah.
off.
We did hit stop and end and broadcast.
I got to make a quick community announcement before I forget about it. Okay, Tenderheart Animal Clinic has put in a 24/7 dog wash. Have you guys seen
So cool
this?
seeing
Yeah,
that.
I've used one in Springfield.
Neato
I'm
Mosquito.
I'm stoked that they're doing this.
So I got to test it. I was a beta tester. Isn't that cool? I didn't get paid, but I did get a free dog wash.
Free dog wash. That's,
Did you
that's
watch
payment.
Clara? You should.
I should have hosed Clara down. I mean, that's a daily thing. Oh, that is real
There's your
funny. I
parenting
should probably do
advice.
it. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I
When
didn't
your
know.
teenage boy
I will
won't
take you
shower,
to the dog wash.
Yeah. Wait,
wash you down right
everyone
now.
at
As a teenager.
Yeah, everyone at Tenderheart is like, shut up. People are going to bring their kids to the dog wash now. Please stop talking.
Sorry, baby.
Put it on your sign.
Sorry, Barry and Kim.
Children
No
cannot
children.
be washed.
So anyway, you're going to be able to try the dog wash October 11th. They're going to do like the open house event October 11th, noon to 2. They're going to have a food truck, bounce house, obstacle course, cookies, drinks, a dog trainer, all of that cool stuff. And I got to test it. No lie, it's cool. It's super cool. It is.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was
Love
fun. I had a good.
Is it like automated, or do you have like a wand, or?
Oh, like
Your dog goes on a conveyor belt.
Yeah, just stick the dog in there, and it's got a little rinse.
Talk about
wash.
futuristic.
like the dog and it. No, like
And the
you
dog just
control
sits there.
it.
Was your dog as supportive of the decision to go check it out?
You know, he seemed fine with it.
Okay.
He was like, okay, we're doing this.
That's how my dog is when he gets a bath.
Okay.
Oh, you got outed here with Ryan.
People know where your truck is. Yeah.
Oh goodness. My
You're gonna
goodness.
need to get a new truck.
Oh goodness.
Not incognito in that.
No, not at all. There you go. You got outed, but
That's funny.
that's all good. So what's on tap? What should we be looking forward to?
Yeah, what is
Coming
happening?
up. The big-
Golly, you know, we got through the busyness of homecoming week. We had a ribbon cutting a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
On the multipurpose, and so, gosh, I breathed for a little bit
Wow.
after that. You know, we've had some dialogue about what our next bond. Our project list is pretty well defined for our next set of projects that we'd like to be focused on. It's really just a timing issue of when we think we'd like to run an initiative to do that.
Sure.
Which would be a no tax increase initiative. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now of kind of diving through that. And
Yeah, because there's been some big things done.
Throw it up there. So we got a
And-
question for you from the audience from Let's Go Brandon. I don't even know where that question
Our
comes
PE
from.
uniforms
but,
from students in the works. I don't,
oh, man.
no.
Incognito account.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I don't
no.
know. I know I didn't have those in the in my 90s and 2000s
We
of
didn't
school
have that in
experience.
the
And
Well, I can tell you in the 80s, they were very short shorts and very tall socks.
Yes,
That was our uniform.
Indeed, that was it.
That's
yeah.
funny.
no.
That's what we had.
For the guys, I should say.
Yeah.
For the guys.
So
But yeah.
sounds like
Yeah,
a no.
there's been some big things happen, and it's kind of, I hadn't thought about what the next
Yeah.
big
So,
stuff was.
so when we, and I say we, I wasn't in district at the
Not
time.
the royal we.
Yeah, when the district put together that project list, I want to say it was in 2019,
Yeah,
2021.
yeah, it
It was a pretty extensive list.
Yeah,
built
it was
with,
big.
You know, some input on what we'd like to do, and so we still have a number of projects on that list that we'd like to do. The biggest of those. So this last bond project obviously focused more so on the multipurpose, the Wildcat Stadium, the primary, and the elementary. And so we'd like to go back and touch the middle school and the upper a little bit.
Yep.
We'd like to, a walking track at the middle, or excuse me, at the upper, tracking
That would be
cats. If
great.
you're familiar with tracking cats,
Track cats.
I'm a
Yeah.
tremendous fan of it.
Yeah, it's a great deal.
That Coach Evans, started doing that a number of years ago, and Coach Terrell at the upper level is doing it right now, and it's so awesome seeing about 75 to 80 kids
Yes.
walking and/or running before school, and like the excitement that they have for that is just through the roof. And so we've got some kids that have already went over 20 miles so far.
Oh,
and
yeah,
they've been
Claire's
doing
over
that
20
for 3 or 4
miles.
weeks. So
She was talking about that, like starting in second grade, like
Right.
waiting to get into
Right.
tracking cats.
So just some projects there. We'd like to expand the library media center there, which would give back some classroom space by having that new space there. And then the middle school big project would be basically connecting the shop and old ag building that's now the wrestling. We still have a classroom or two in there, and connecting that with some art room, fax room, some of those classroom spaces that are not your traditional classroom size that need to be a little bit bigger. Art, facts.
So you have a suggestion of a pedestrian bridge from the middle school to the high school.
Right.
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm
Maybe you
thinking.
could just come out of that new building just like there is a bridge from
Right,
high school
up and
into
over.
it. Just
I'm
You ever been to
actually
Spokane?
thinking-
They have one. It's really wild.
I'm thinking actually monorail connecting all.
There
the
we go.
campuses.
That would be
that's a great-
so
Let's
convenient
go.
too.
I would totally put my kids on a monorail.
Yeah.
Say, see you later.
Let's do the monorail.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice.
that's
We are adding a crosswalk there that will go from
That's
the tennis
good.
courts. I guess it would be my west side of the tennis courts across over to that small parking lot. So there'll be a little bit more of a defined walk.
Going under would be cheaper, probably.
There we
That'd
go.
be
Right,
everything
right.
else.
Like that Grand at Missouri State, right?
Yeah.
So, which I've been under that over the last couple of weeks. It has changed since the early 2000s. Much.
There's a tunnel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
There was a tunnel for a long time, but it is now much nicer than it was
So
in
where's
my
the
era.
tunnel?
So there's
Same
a
spot.
parking lot on the south side of campus.
South of Grand.
South
Okay,
of Grand.
okay.
There's a tunnel from that parking lot under,
No joke.
under
Kids
Grand
from
to
having
get
to-
onto
yeah.
campus.
Yeah.
It's always a great idea to put kids in a tunnel.
Yeah. Well,
Well, it looks a lot different. Than it,
predictability occurred. Predictable behavior occurred.
Shenanigans,
Back in
yeah.
the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shenanigans.
Will be done.
Yeah.
Will be had.
I didn't know there was a tunnel. I had no idea.
Well, you should check
I've
it
not
out. You
spent
take-
much time on their
You went
campus.
to jury. It's okay.
check it
Field
out.
trip. I'm here for a field trip.
I just wanted to see the tunnel.
Just
Heard about your
parked,
tunnel.
went under the tunnel, and got back in my car. Went out.
Heard about the tunnel.
I never heard about the tunnel. That's it.
call it
Drury, we
Springfield
didn't have
Underground.
tunnels at Drury.
They don't.
Oh, but they did. That was the big.
There was a tunnel at Drury.
There's allegedly. Nobody knows this. Allegedly, tunnels that run under the entire campus that connect all of the buildings together.
I know there's a school in Kansas City, Avila has.
That
they
sounds like
have
a rumor.
tunnels like
It
that.
does, but it's a good one.
That sounds like an urban legend.
Yeah, but it's a good one.
It is a good one.
It is a good one.
Maybe we'll go on a tunnel field trip.
There you go.
Tunnels of
Tunnel
Springfield
tour. We could
and
have
surrounding
the Ozarks
area.
tunnel tour.
Yeah, there you go.
Ozarks. Yeah, I don't want to go in any tunnels. Sorry.
Sounds like the worst day ever.
I tried it.
Kinda
Everything
does.
about this is
We're
making
gonna
me
s-
scream
we're gonna start at
inside.
Springfield Underground.
Claustrophobic.
I would like to tour Springfield Underground. If anybody can make that happen for me.
I've been in.
It's a really cool.
I wanna see
I
it.
did a field trip one time. Yeah, it's really.
I want to
wild.
go.
What
So,
I
like said, if
really
anybody
love
can make
about
that happen for
Springfield
me, I'm on.
Underground is the when the rest of the country finds out or found out about it, the speculation, rumors, reactions were fantastic. The
cheese story.
Do you know there's 1 million pounds of cheese at a cave in the Ozarks?
I heard there's a-
Absolutely.
I heard
We're
there's a
aware.
Trader Joe's down there.
I heard that
Trader
too.
Joe's. I heard of Bucky's.
Oh man.
The cheese tunnels.
Hey, it's funny. Nobody in Rogersville knows that we actually have a Walmart underground.
Yeah, we have an underground.
It's hidden
Walmart.
away.
Yep. Back in the woods.
You heard it here. You heard it here first.
I'm still. It's spooky season, right? And I'm still waiting
Oh, it is.
for the Rogersville legends that really don't exist.
Yeah.
People
I've
need to
not
start making
uncovered
them up.
them.
I thought we came up with something.
There
come up
was
with
the
one.
head. The head.
Oh, Abner's head.
Abner's head.
That's not. That's
and
more Booker
Devil's
County.
Den, and that's it.
Everybody's got a Devil's Den. That's
That's it. Yeah. Well, it's the Ozarks. There's a sinkhole everywhere.
Yeah.
Everybody's got one of those. So I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for the legends.
yeah. We don't. I don't know if any Rogersville
I know.
spooky legends.
don't understand.
Specific to Rogersville. I think we got to come up with something for the caboose. That's the most logical
Right.
thing. Is that somehow there's
Yes.
a haint in the caboose.
A haint in the caboose.
We
Yeah.
can maybe come up with something there.
See why we couldn't make something up.
Well, let's get on it. We need to do something.
It's either that or your house, Lauren. One of the
It's
two.
probably your
Oh,
house.
I will never forget the first time I slept in my house. I'm laying there in bed, and I'm like, you know what? There would have been funerals here.
Yeah. I was
Darn
just
it.
gonna say
I
that.
never thought about that. Like, I literally did not cross my mind until I'm laying in bed where probably a casket was. And I
Yeah,
was
probably
like,
right where your room is,
Yeah.
there at the back of the sanctuary.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm like, yeah, there were. And it was funny, though, at that time, there was like a ledge up around there. And I would wake up randomly and the lights on the ledge would be on. And I'm like, oh, gosh darn, that's kind of spooky. Then I realized it was on like a remote system. And I think somebody's garage door opener was like, open. Yeah. So we
And
took
you
those
were-
down.
And you were mildly disappointed that it wasn't a spooky story.
Yeah,
Ah,
I really was.
thought it would've been a spook
yeah,
house.
yeah. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it was. Dwayne says you can drive from Detroit to Windsor, Canada in a tunnel under the Detroit River. You know what? I have been from Detroit to Windsor. I can't remember if I went in the tunnel or not. I don't know.
There may not be any other way to get there.
I did that trek. I don't
mean,
know.
if there's a river, it's either a tunnel or a bridge.
Dwayne, is there another way? Would I have been
Potentially
in
a
that
ferry,
tunnel?
I
You
suppose.
could have gone 30 minutes north and then over. There's another way around.
I don't know. I know I did go to a casino at the age of 19 at that time.
Not that familiar.
Because that's
with,
what's in Windsor, and that's what you do as a, American going into Canada. This was prior to needing a passport to go into Canada.
Yeah.
So, this was way back in the day.
way back in the day.
Okay, well,
It's a farm and harvest thing coming up.
it's happening on October 18th at the park.
It's happening.
Nice.
So
It's
that's
happening.
something to keep your eye on.
And I feel like there's something else happening this weekend, and I'm blanking on what that is. If you know what it is, comment. I don't know.
Yeah, but all right. Well,
Well,
Dr. Valentine has a real job. He has.
Yeah.
The rest of us, we don't have to do.
it's always good to have you
and
here.
we'll figure out something.
We'll-
Any
too.
parting
We'll
thoughts? Is there anything that you need to tell the masses? Because there's probably 10,000 people watching this.
No, I guess as I was thinking through, you mentioned the caboose, and it made me. If you've been into the high school, the main entrance of the high school lately, over the summer, Mr. Roten and Mr. Moore had a murals class
Oh, cool.
for summer school, and they did a mural, which is amazing, that ties in a ton of different Rogersville, Webster County type of
That's neat.
items.
Landmarks.
Yeah, landmarks. And so if you haven't had a chance, I know that entrance is kind of the one that you don't
Never go into.
you don't go in that way unless you're coming into the front of the building for the office. And so so if you get a chance to see that, it's really, really
The
neat.
school should post that. That's cool. Post
So
out there on.
it's finished and it's framed in, but they
Uh-huh.
still have those guys. If you know Mr. Moore and Mr. Roten,
They're
rock
detailed.
stars, and they're detailed.
Yeah.
But there's some finishing touches that what they'd like to do.
Okay.
To add some like QR codes that you can scan and kind of
Find out about it.
Very cool.
out about it. It's so awesome. As a guy who likes to read,
All the plaques.
plaques and things like that.
Yeah.
Like when they presented that idea, and it was a really great process. The kids kind of approached it as really as like a client project that was commissioned, and so they did a great job. It was really and awesome, and the final piece is amazing, and it was paneled. So they had to scope it out, I believe, over 4 panels. But if you get a chance to see that,
I'd like
at the
to
high
see that.
school,
That's cool.
It is really awesome, and so it's been a really cool work that they did, and they did it like rush hour. I mean, they got it done over a course of
neat.
a summer school session, so it was really awesome.
So I've learned of 2 things I want to see: the cheese tunnels and the mural.
Yeah.
It's a big day for Lauren. Let's see if we can make these things happen.
Well, we'll work on that nomenclature and.
Just because I didn't know a word.
You know it now, though, and that's what matters.
Well, honestly, I've already forgotten it.
Thanks for being here, Dr. Valentine.
Thank
we always
you.
appreciate
Appreciate
it.
it.
Appreciate your heart for Rogersville and everything you do for us. And we will be back next week with more waffle.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.